Welcome to Feng Shui Living, a podcast for busy women looking to de-stress and live with more intention. I'm Lisa Morton, and I'm passionate about helping you create a home that not only inspires you, but empowers you. Years ago, I was severely struggling with my mental health and wellness, and while I'd implemented yoga, meditation, therapy, and more, I just could not find that missing piece of the puzzle. And that was until I explored my home. You see, the interior designer in me had made it beautiful, but it wasn't supporting me energetically. Fast forward, and I've now been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've devoted the past 10 years to Feng Shui and a holistic design approach. In this podcast, I'll be sharing with you interviews, stories, and knowledge, as well as some super easy, simple tips that you can take on today. If you're looking to be more intentional and create a life and home that you love, then you're in the right place. Well, hello there, and welcome to Feng Shui Living Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Morton, and today you might see something new if you have been a long-time listener or watcher. If you're a watcher, you're going to see a different background. I am actually out of the studio I'd been using, and I built out my own podcast studio here in my home. I'm really excited about this space. I've put so much love and care, and I still have some accessorizing to do. I did bring in a plant, and if you've listened to past episodes, you know I always talked about the studio space. It was nice, but I didn't have that connection to nature. There's no windows, no views outdoors. I kept joking I was always going to bring in a plant. I never did, but I thought about it. Anyway, welcome to my new studio. I hope you like it. Let me know if you have any advice for accessories, what you'd like to see, because you guys are looking at it. I'm looking at you. Anyway, today in the episode, as I said, we're doing Q&A. If you have questions, you can message me. You can follow me on social media at Pure Living with Lisa Morton and go send me a question, something you want me to address here in the podcast. And I would love to do this. I probably do a Q&A, not quite once a month, but I try to do them often because I know you have questions and I want to get them answered for you. You can also pop over to my website and schedule a free 15-minute discovery call. That's a free 15-minute call that we can talk about whatever you're working with, whatever struggles you're having. So head over to purelivingwithlisamorton.com and I'll put a link in the show notes as well. So with that, let's jump into our questions. So I randomly kind of pull questions that I take some that I kind of randomly pull them, but then also try to pull one that I know multiple people are asking these days. So the first question, let's see, came from Caitlin, and Caitlin has a long, narrow hallway to her bedroom. Can I have a mirror here? Okay, so I thought this would be it. This is one I specifically pulled out to answer because we talk a lot about hallways. We want hallways light and bright. Energy is not going to move down them if they're dark and they feel stagnant and heavy. So we want to lift the energy in these long, dark hallways. So yes, you can put a mirror here. A mirror is excellent to reflect light, to make a space feel brighter than it is, to make a space feel larger than it is. So yes, add a mirror to your hallway. It's great. You know, the one place we want to avoid a mirror is in the front entry, but that's a different area of the home. So if you're working on this hallway down to the bedrooms, add a mirror. Other ways to lighten and brighten are lighter wall decor. So maybe it's a darker color going down the hallway, which is not well lit. You can bring in some color, bring in some artwork with some beautiful colors in it. You can also go down and look at the floor. Add a rug runner that has some color to it, that has something to just kind of wake you up, right, as you're walking down this long hallway. So think of how you can lighten and brighten beyond just the light fixtures and just mirrors. You can decorate it to lift the energy. You can even paint it a brighter color, okay? And here's what something kind of design side of Lisa always thinks about is the ceilings. When was the last time the ceiling was painted? Now, I know color drenching is all the trend right now, but in a long hallway like this, we really want to have that white ceiling because it will reflect more light. And even though maybe it was painted 20 years ago white, it kind of gets dingy, and a refresh of the white paint on your ceiling will surely lighten and brighten your space. Okay. I know these will help. If you have more questions, Caitlin, please reach out and let me know. All right, on to question number 2 is from Kimberly, and she wanted tips for her living room. She didn't list any specific tips, but I just thought I'd give you my top tips for a living room space. So living room is where we gather, where we spend time with our loved ones, where we spend time with maybe extended family members. Maybe we have a friend over for a cup of tea. Maybe we snuggle up and read a book here. So there's a lot that happens here, but it's kind of that middle ground of a room, right? We talk about setting the energy for the activity in the space. You guys have heard me talk about this. There's like spa energy on one end, very yin in nature. And then there's very yang, which would be like Chuck E. Cheese or a casino or a workout room, right? A gym, a higher energy space. So we want to set up the energy for the space depending on what's happening in that space. So a living room is kind of middle of the road, right? We don't necessarily want bright, bold red and fuchsia everywhere, because if we are trying to curl up on the sofa and read a book, we're not going to be able to relax much. At the same end, if it's too subdued, when we have our family guests over for the holidays, there isn't going to be much conversation or interaction. Everyone might feel just a bit sleepy. So the command position is so important. This makes your body feel grounded, protected, centered. And we really need this. Like, we go so much. Whenever you get the chance to put yourself in the command position, this will just put your body at ease, make you feel more prepared, and again, make you feel grounded and centered and protected. So I love to put myself in the command position as much as possible. In my home office, my desk is set up to follow the command position. My bed is set up to follow the command position, putting myself in that position. Also, when I go to public places like a restaurant, I might even ask for a specific table that's against a wall so I can put myself in that command position, especially at the end of a week on a Friday night. We go out to dinner. I'm tired. I'm just not feeling maybe as vibrant as I was earlier in the week. And so having myself in this command position just makes my whole body feel better. So you can also take this on at work. Maybe you're doing a presentation. You want to put yourself so that solid wall is behind you, not say a walkway. Okay. You want that protection, that support right behind you, and also in your living room. So often I'll see floating furniture, which that's a cool thing. I love it. It looks great. This works really well because we have so many open floor plans, and always pushing the sofa against a wall it just doesn't look great. And it makes more of a cozy, comfortable conversation setting when you can bring things in. Okay. However, sometimes the sofa being far away from the wall, not having any sort of protection behind you, can make you just not feel as settled and comfortable as I want you to. So here's my trick. Look into furniture pieces. I love a console table behind the sofa and maybe a pair of lamps or some decorative elements on there to bring some more height as a sense of protection for your body. This is really going to benefit you. Also, other chairs, if possible, turn them so there's a solid wall behind, especially the chair you want to curl up and read your book in. Okay. This is going to help you again feel centered, calm, and supported. So the command position is so important. Number 2 is layer the lighting. Lighting really has a big impact. And we've talked lighting before, but When we layer lighting, it gives us options, right? It gives us options so that we can have the light brights on when we want to have conversation, have people over and maybe play a game and really converse and higher energy. But then we can turn off those overhead can lights, overhead light fixtures, and bring the lighting down. So we have maybe some soft lamps, maybe a reading lamp, some softer lamps to bring your energy down. This is really important, especially in these areas where we spend time in the evening before bed. You're relaxing, watching a movie. We need to start bringing those lights down to cue our body into knowing that sleep is coming soon. It's time to soften. It's time to bring the energy down. I know you'll love this. Give this a try. Set a timer. We actually have a timer at our home, and we have it set to about 9:15. So we know it's time to really make sure the lights are coming down. We're just the music, if there's music playing, it kind of goes to something softer, maybe more lighthearted show, something just gentle and soft and easy. This is also a time that I love to pull out my book and start reading. It just helps cue your body into knowing that sleep is coming along soon. So layer your lighting overhead, different fixtures, different task lighting. Like I said, if you're reading a book here, or maybe you have a piano in your living room and you have a lamp there. Also decorative, beautiful decorative lamps on your end tables, your accent tables, or your console table. And then my third tip for a living room is to look for furniture with softer corners or with rounded corners. Now, you don't have to go out and shop. I'm not telling you to go out and buy new furniture, but next time you do, I want you to put this in the back of your head. I want you to think about pieces with softer corners. So maybe a rolled arm on a sofa versus a squared arm. Maybe a barrel chair, a rounded swivel barrel chair versus a really sharp pointed edge, boxy style accent chair. Okay. So just something, it helps soften the energy flow throughout the space. So when we think about energy flowing through our space, I often compare to water. Water follows the path of least resistance. So when it's flowing, we want this nice meandering flow. We don't necessarily want it hitting one sharp corner and then hitting another sharp corner, or hitting, one area and then the next, because there's so much clutter you can't get through, right? I think of like the raging river at the water park or at the amusement park. We want that nice meandering flow. And by having these rounded edges, rounded corners, it provides a smoother flow of energy through your space. So look for those softer, rounded lines. I love rounded coffee tables or a big round ottoman in the middle of the living room in front of the sofa. That's a great way to keep that going, to keep that smooth energy flowing. If you already have a boxy sofa, but want to give it a little softer look. And a coffee table or an ottoman is a little less pricey than going and investing in all new furniture. So if you want to try that out, let me know how it goes. So those are my 3 tips for a living room. 3 things you might not normally think about. My next question was from Elena, and she's asking for colors for her kitchen. The kitchen is this place where we nourish our bodies. We nourish the bodies of our family members, and we host events here. We prepare for Thanksgiving meals, right? We prepare for all these big events. But it's also become this interesting space where we just spend a lot of time. I don't know about you, but I feel like you go to someone's home and half the time you stand around their kitchen island snacking and drinking and laughing and having a good time. It's not so much isn't spent in other rooms. We spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So the kitchen is so, so incredibly important. So my favorite colors for the kitchen following Feng Shui is really, I love white. So white is beautiful. It represents cleanliness and focus as it connects to the metal element. But here's what I think white is kind of cool and refreshing these days, because we had so many white kitchens for the longest time. If you're interested in bringing in some wood tone cabinetry, maybe you're doing a remodel and you're looking at some beautiful, I don't know, an oak cabinet, a linear oak look on that cabinet front, but yet you want that light, bright, clean feeling, paint your walls white. Maybe you want to go a cabinet color that's the so popular sage green that you're seeing everywhere right now. Maybe that's what you want to do. The white is going to really make it pop, but also keep that fresh, clean feeling in that kitchen. So I love white. It's not something you always think about. You think about white, it can kind of feel boring, but it can be so fun if you do it right and pair it with other things that make it feel so fun and exciting. Other colors that I love to use is green. Green is a wood element. If you want to inspire more cooking, if you want to explore more cooking, then green is the color for you. You can paint your walls. Again, green cabinetry is very popular. And then also the earth element. Every home, I don't know of a room that can't benefit from connecting to the earth element. The colors of beige, tan, brown, cream, and also yellow. So brown is great. It makes us feel that earthy connection. It makes us feel grounded. But yellow is really fun too, because yellow is grounding. It's also an earth element. Yellow is grounding, but also takes our energy up a bit. So maybe don't think of neon yellow on the walls, but think about a soft, buttery yellow color on your walls. That could be really beautiful, especially if you want to stick with that white cabinet trend. Really nice. So those are 3 answers. Again, thank you, Caitlin, Kimberly, and Elena for submitting your questions. If you have a question, again, message me, send me a message on social media, DM me, and let me know what questions you have, and I will answer those in our next Q&A episode. Again, you can also pop over to my website and score a free 15-minute discovery call. Well, friends, I hope you had fun in this episode. Welcome again to my new studio. Still getting some kinks worked out. We'll get there. Thank you for your patience. You're amazing. Friends, I will see you at our next episode. Take care. Special thanks to our production company, Influencer.tv, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good She. For more information, head over to the show notes. Be sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. I'll see you next time.